G'day viewers, how you doing? We're at the delightful Paynton on the Riviera Line and we're going to learn how to set up and drive this Class 150. So let's get on with it. It's a little, what we got, 2, 3, 4 cars. So it's a two unit set. So we'll get the doors open and climb on in. We'll close that so we don't get swamped by passengers any second. Come in here and open the door to our compartment. And before we go in there, we're going to open up this little panel and set driver safety device. So if you get up, it'll yell at you. And TPWS, AWS set that to normal. And I think vigilance is already on. Looks like it is. Get the window open. The seat's a bit of a funny one because if you're in the wrong spot, it's just seat down and seat up. But yeah, and find the spot right in the corner of the seat. Okay, let's put our reverser into neutral. Oh, nope. Master key. Keep forgetting British trains. Master key. Okay, let's reset AWS. And let's get the doors open for a start. So left doors, I used the Y key to open the doors, or left and right on your D-pad. Let's get our day headlights on. Windscreen wipers, if you need them, are here. Instrument lights, there is a button, you can switch those on, and the diesel's already running, we don't need to do anything with those, and we can start the doors closing. You can use the guard panel as well if you want to, and let's get our reverser into forwards now. Get a little bit of power on before we release the brakes and start the brakes releasing. And the engine will rev up. And off we go.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
Give it some more power. Rail fans up on the bridge up there, of course. And away we go. 150 is certainly a relatively simplistic beast to operate, says he, going too fast. But we won't let that worry us, will we? So we'll just apply a little bit of brake to slow that down. We'll just go into step 1 for a bit. There we go, we're fine. We can do 40 again now anyway. So back on with the power. Use the fan if you want to. Look, whee! It's pretty exciting. Contact signaler is on the GSMR phone, not the other phone. Alright, let's get up to full power because we have to do 40 and that's about it for this thing. No, I'm kidding. It goes a bit faster than that. This is a completely reworked 150, so don't expect the 150 that you've had before. Because this one's good. I know, someone will just call me a shill for saying the 150 is good, but go drive that damn thing, it's good. So we've done 90% of what you do to drive this thing. That's about it, really. Yep, power on, power off, brakes. That's about it. She's a simple little girl. Alright, let's come off the juices. We use gravity to reduce the slight overspeed that we have. There we go. Gravity's doing a fine job. Let's come back onto the juices, because if we don't, we're not going to get up this hill. TSMR was set up for us auto-magically. Let's see, we're still dropping speed a little bit, so let's pick her up with notch 5. Now off the speed now, because our gradient has greatly reduced. Green light ahead, so AWS Sunflower just cleared. If you get an emergency brake on this thing, it is not a big deal at all. Just release them and drive. Pretty much it. Unless, of course, you get a TPWS brake demand, in which case you have to wait for the red light up there to go out before you can drive. And that will take 1 minute. Bit of braking on to control our speed and to start slowing us down for Torquay. Look, Ma. No watching. So there is a sun blind. Normally you would close that before you leave the cab on a change ends. Train brake 2 and then brake 1. So we come rolling into the idyllic tropical paradise of Torquay. Bing goes the AWS. Nice gentle braking to slow us down at the stopping point. There we go. And brake 2 to finally stop. Back to brake 1 so we don't jerk people around. And I still have some throttle on. How naughty of me. Doors open. Alrighty, a bit of power, and it brakes off. You apply a little bit of power before you release the last of the brakes so that you don't roll backwards. Which you would here because it's on a slope.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Exmouth.
That is pretty much all I have to show you for the Class 150, really. There's the traditional dovetail tree through the cab. Always good to have. She accelerates like a piggy. That is vigilance. You just whack the button. The button is the Q key, circle or B, depending on your controller flavor. Next time it goes off, I'll let it stop the train, I guess, and I can show you how to reset from that. It's very difficult. Set Paddington. Alright, we are here, so power off. She does stop pretty well. Let's just relax the brakes a bit as we come to a stop. Less jerking. Doors open.
Railway service to Exmouth. The next station is Newton Abbot.
We are back on an uphill, so again we'll apply some power before we leave the brakes off. Let's get the doors closed. I've only got brake 1 set, but the train has set brake 3. It will release. Get some power on. Once you get anything below bake 2, you can apply power. Here comes a 166. Look at that. So the 166 driver looks over at the 150 driver and goes, "Ha, my train's better than yours." And the 150 driver knowingly looks on and goes, "Yeah, mate, sure. At least mine doesn't stink of diesel fumes inside." Because the 166 certainly does. He's a poggy little fella. Next time the alerter goes off, I will just go no hands. And then I'll let it stop the train and show you how to reset from that. I can't imagine we'll get an AWS event, but it's essentially the same. You just have to wait for the brake demand light to go off, and then you can release the brakes and continue. So you just basically put the throttle back to off, apply the brakes on by hand, so that when the brakes do come off, that doesn't surprise you and roll away, and then wait for the red light up there, this one labelled brake demand, to go out. Alright, there's the alerter going off. We can hear the sound, and it's now applying the brakes. So we will put the throttle back to off, and we'll apply our own brake. We will acknowledge the alerter now that we've stopped, all the vigilance. And you can see the brakes have already released to what I applied to, so we'll apply some power, wait for the revs, and then release the brake. Now the reason I applied my own brake is if you look at this situation, we're on quite a steep gradient, and we are actually rolling back a little even with P2. So needs a bit more power to overcome it. There it goes. P2, P4. Had I not put my own brake on, we would have rolled back quite severely. And as it was, we only rolled it a little bit. So make sure you put your own brake on in this situation before it releases. Alright, that's about all I had to show you with the Class 150. So we'll just let that roll off into the sunset, and I will do the usual spiel of thanks for liking. Please subscribe. If you've got any questions, please chuck them down below, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. And like our little train heading off into the sunrise here, bye-bye.
We played a game.